Entropyracing, and we're here to discuss the evolution of the battery containment and suppression within the cars over the course of the past 8 years. From our Gen 1 car, where we felt that it was very important to protect the batteries and keep them in a very enclosed structural space, to the Gen 2 car, where our experience showed us that access to the batteries was much more important and the ability to monitor them was paramount. So we opened up the boxes and we gave more access to the batteries. And now we're going to walk you through the evolution of the battery containment and accessibility from our Generation 1 cars to our Generation 2 cars. Our Generation 1 car was designed in the winter of 2013 and 14, and we focused very much on containment of the batteries, a structural box that was very, very impenetrable, and we felt that it was really important. Because of our limited knowledge with the batteries, we only had anecdotal information, we felt it was important to keep them contained and keep them enclosed. What we have to do to access a battery pack on a Generation 1 car is a two-man job with tools. Here we start off by taking off the nose, which is a two-man process. It's 2 clips, 2 Terry springs, and you can lift it off and push it out of the way. Then you got to go to take off the tail, and then the center section, which is 2 separate pieces, 1 on either side, requires 3 pieces of hardware and usually a zip tie at the back to take that off. Once you've taken that off, then there's the battery lid itself, which is part of the structure of the box, which requires 6 pieces of hardware to remove. And once you've taken off those 6 pieces of hardware, you can slide the lid away and you've got access to the batteries. So as we went from the Generation 1 car to the Generation 2 car, the most notable change is a single piece body as opposed to a 4-piece body, some chassis changes, and the biggest one is that our batteries are no longer in an enclosed container and they are in an open box. With our Generation 2 car, body removal and access improved with only 8 fasteners and 1 piece of bodywork. So you remove the lower 4 fasteners, remove the upper 4 fasteners, and then 2 people, 1 at the front, 1 at the back, can lift the car off. The batteries are no longer in an enclosed box, it's an open top, and you can access it. The difficulty that we encountered is that it's not as easy as it might be in an emergency, and if you're alone, if it's a single person, a single driver in an incident who wants to access the batteries, lifting off the body by yourself is not possible. Towards the end of our first season of testing and racing the Generation 2 cars, we ran an event at Watkins Glen where we tested some high output controllers and had an incident that we had to respond to. When we got back to the paddock, we really hit a wall in terms of being able to address and access the batteries, because as a person by himself, I was unable to lift the body off by myself, and it caused a great delay and led us to our next changes in the Generation 2 car with regards to suppression. To improve incident response further, we came up with a very simple solution of cutting basically a window into the car above the battery pack. We cut a hole at the leading edge and the trailing edge of the battery pack and inserted a duct both for cooling, visual access, and suppression. So now, rather than having to remove any body work or requiring any tools or special knowledge, you walk right up to the car, you look in, you see where the fire or the venting is, and you apply your cold water or your extinguisher material, and it's out in a fraction of the time of any other setup that we've had up till now. Building and developing a new race car isn't just about speed and performance, especially when you're dealing with new technologies that are virtually unheard of in the sport. Many of the things that have to be considered are driver safety, safety to the workers and emergency staff, and you have to visualize and understand all of the possible scenarios that may happen in the event of a crash or a mechanical failure or a problem that might not be obvious when you're first designing the car. In the end, safety is always going to be paramount, and it's been a huge part of the EVSR program. It's our battery choice is all about safety. Our access through the body to the body is all about safety, and our containment and our design of the chassis is very much about the safety of the driver. We've always been very proud of our safety, and we've always felt we've had a safe car, but over the years, as we continue to improve, we just keep getting safer and safer.